Let's work on the total price, which right now we still store in the burger builder state, but there of course we don't really update it, therefore it's always 4. We already set it up in the reducer, but we're not changing it here. Now the price changes whenever we add or remove ingredients. Now there are 2 routes you can take. You can define a new action type for the price change. You could call it update ingredients or update price. And then we could also, of course, bind this in the burger builder at the bottom to a property which we execute to dispatch this action. And this action would then simply be caught by the reducer and there recalculate the price. This would be fine, and it would ensure that every action leads to just one piece of your state being manipulated in your reducer. On the other hand, we already got the only 2 action types which change our price: add ingredient and remove ingredient. So it would also be fair to not only update ingredients here, but also update the price. And again, it's totally up to you which route you take. Do you only want to change one part of your state per case? Then you need an extra action. Are you fine with manipulating multiple pieces of your state? Well, then you can take one action. I'll go with the latter route here. So here we already update ingredients. Now we also want to recalculate the price. So I'll also override total price here when returning a new state. Again, we first of all copied all the old state and all the properties. Now I'm not only overwriting ingredients, but also the old price. And there, of course, the value now is the state of or the total price of the old state, I should say. So the state we're receiving when this reducer is called. And now adjusted by the price for the ingredient which was added. Now we got this price map for this in the burger builder. Here we got the ingredient prices. I'll copy that, or cut it actually, I don't need it here anymore, and move it into my reducer. So there I will now not only define my initial state, but also my ingredient prices. We could define this anywhere in our application. We could fetch this from a database or from a server, though right now we couldn't because we don't know how to handle asynchronous code, but in the future we will. But I'll simply hard code it in there. And there again, we got the same ingredient property names as we use everywhere in our application. So now we can simply set the total price equal to the old total price plus, and now access the ingredient prices for the ingredient we get here in our action, the ingredient name. This will, for example, access salad here and give us .5, which is then added to the old price and set as the new price here. This is how we can manipulate and update the price for adding ingredients. For removing ingredients, I'll copy that code and also add it to the remove ingredient case to the state update. There, of course, we deduct the price of the ingredient we removed. With that, if we now save everything, we have to go back to the burger builder because we get some errors down there, that we still refer to that old code for updating the price, ingredient prices. We do this in the add ingredient handler, and actually what we can do now is we can get rid of the add and remove ingredient handler methods here, cleaning up this file a lot, of course. Now with that, if we save that file, save all the files and go back to the application, we should see that if we now, let me shrink this a little bit to bring it closer together. If we now update salad and bacon, the price doesn't change. Why? Well, because we now do update it in our global state through the reducer. But of course, in the burger builder container at the bottom, we still only fetch the ingredients from our global state. Well, we simply have to make sure to also fetch the price here. So from state, and there the property was named total price. With that, we can use price on the props in the burger builder container. And we can also remove the total price from the state there because we're not managing it through the state in the burger builder anymore. So now let's simply use the total price there, and everywhere in this part where we use the old total price on the state like here, we should replace it, though for the purchase continue handler, I won't for now because I'll soon get rid of all this code anyways. So let's go to the render method and let's make sure to update the price there. Here I want to update it on our build controls where we pass it. We simply now pass this props price. And in the order summary where we also use the price, this should also be this props price, like this. This should be all the places where we use the price. Let's now save this component, go back to the application and start adding ingredients. And you see that we are updating the price now, of course, in both directions. Now, one thing we still don't see is that the order now button would get enabled. So this is what we'll work on next.